Human rights is at the core of the labor movement, and especially the IAM. That's why the work that we do in collaboration with the Employee Rights Center is so important and so valuable.
Well, the Employee Rights Center came to my attention through the former president of Local Lodge 389 in San Diego, Peter Zicci. And he started to tell me, well, we help people that don't have a union, that are working, and primarily he was talking about immigrants, and they could come in a safe environment, apply for citizenship. There would be attorneys there, there would be agencies there to help them file the necessary documents and even fill them out.
In 1999, in this building right here, in a little desk in the corner with a phone, we started the Employee Rights Center. We started by doing things that I knew how to do, and that is help people get their unemployment insurance.
We try to give the employees and the workers who come here the resources, whether it's us who give the service or try to connect you with somewhere else in the community to get the service you need.
You don't get paid correctly, you don't know how to access your unemployment benefits, you don't know how to file for state disability, anything. If you're not in a union, you have no place to go. What we found out in the first couple years is the people who came to us the most were low-wage immigrant workers. They figure they know the least about the law, they value their jobs the most, they're afraid to lose the job they have because they don't know where the next one's coming from, and the employers feel this, unscrupulous employers feel this, bang, they go after them.
If somebody who says, I'm injured, I'm not paid, I haven't taken vacation in 3 years, and they say, and their answer is, well, there's a door. They just made your economic value nothing. They say you're completely replaceable. And completely replaceable is how we treat things that we don't care about. Humans should be treated differently.
We had to help them overcome their reluctance to file a claim, thinking that if they were to file their claim, something was going to happen to them.
Every worker who works full-time, we believe that they should be able to earn enough for them to be able to live a decent life for not only themselves but their families as well.
When we think of what people ought to have as human beings to work with and to be able to sustain themselves every day, you find all the ways in which that doesn't happen, and it happens especially in these poor urban core neighborhoods in San Diego.
So after my biometrics, what's next? What do I have to do?
Well, the next step will be for you to go to the interview for the citizenship.
Peter's time with the machinist union is, I think, what catapulted him into this. When he returned from Vietnam, he started working in the shipyard and saw a lot of injustice.
The fact that we have thousands of people every year in San Diego that are victims of wage theft tells you that this isn't an individual problem, this is a systemic problem. And it's the fact that non-union employers know that the state of California and the federal government cannot enforce by themselves wage laws. That unless there's places like the unions and the Employee Rights Center around to help workers enforce that, there'll be no end to it.
The immigrant worker is the most vulnerable worker in our society because employers know that they're going to be reluctant to exercise their rights. And this place gives them a safe haven to come to and to be able to exercise their rights and to exert justice.
Certainly the Machinist Union focused on one-on-one organizing, making house calls, getting together with people individually to talk about why unions are important. I think that we've carried that over into that work here, getting those clients to become volunteers and engaged in the local struggles. They were not just serving someone, we're introducing them to the labor movement.
Your husband was deployed first and then you went later on. Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Okay.
We started looking at how we could form a collaboration or a partnership, and the Employee Rights Center came to my mind right away.
So we came down here in San Diego with my boss, Larry Ollinger, Steve Cooper, and Peter and Alor Calderon.
There was a sense that the locals wanted to do a little more outreach and they want to do a little more educational work. And they felt that, there was an opportunity to bring more people into a discussion about their rights and therefore get them more involved in the union.
The workers would come to the location, the union hall in this case, and there would be like different little booths set up, depending on the type of service that they needed. And a lot of it's in Spanish in this particular case, but when we talk about immigrants, it's important to note that we're not just talking about Latino immigrants, because we have immigrants from a lot of different countries So the ERC was introducing us to the immigrant community and introducing the immigrant community to the union. So it was a win-win situation.
We've sent some of our members from Local Lodge 389 to the ERC to get help for naturalization papers through the ERC 25.
So ERC 25 is where we separate $25,000 for loans for people that were interested to be not only become citizens, but they're interested in helping others become citizens. They sign a contract where they say, I will go through this process if I can, and I will have the benefit of having a free attorney, and I will apply. But regardless of the outcome, I'm going to bring other people to apply to the center, and I will volunteer to do community work at least twice a year.
It's a powerful message about why citizenship is so important and why this effort with the Machinists Union and Calixto and Felix and Steve and the other folks and with Allure here, that this is an important effort for all our union members who are not U.S. citizens.
And I would hope that all machinists out there understands the importance of human rights and get engaged and get involved in those kind of efforts within their communities.
I'm just so proud of all of our retirees because even though they retire from their job, they don't retire from the union and the values of the union. Peter's still giving back to society through this Employee Rights Center.
Educating all the employees about human rights will give them the weapon to defend themselves against the employer.
It's important for us to continue our collaboration with the Employee Rights Center because this is the type of agency that we're going to need the partnership with in the future in order for us to grow.
Definitely we need to start educating our community on those issues if we want to organize them later on.
People need to feel the strength of accomplishing something and then they go, oh, if I can do this, I can do that. And if someone does approach them about organizing a union at their workplace, I'm sure they're going to be much more receptive than they were before because now they sort of had a taste of what that can be. And that's another thing, is just generally laying the groundwork for potential organizing drives, that you have a bigger base of people that know what labor is all about and know what struggling is all about and knowing how to win.
Workers around the country face these types of struggles every day, and the IAM, the Fighting Machinist, is committed to bring justice to every workplace throughout this country and Canada. And our collaboration with the Employee Rights Center is one example of how we're bringing justice to the workplace.